First contact and misunderstanding. The day humanity made first contact with alien life was not marked by grand speeches or monumental celebrations. Instead, it began with a series of increasingly panicked emails between the International Space Station and Mission Control. "Houston, we have a situation." Commander Sarah Chen's voice crackled over the comms, her usual calm demeanor tinged with disbelief. "There's an object approaching the station. It's not one of ours." The unidentified object, sleek and iridescent, gracefully maneuvered alongside the ISS. As the crew watched in awe, a hatch on the alien vessel opened, revealing beings that defied human imagination. The Galactic Confederation had arrived, and Earth would never be the same. In the weeks that followed, the world grappled with the reality of extraterrestrial life. Governments scrambled, religions questioned their doctrines, and social media exploded with memes about probing and tinfoil hats. But as the initial shock wore off, humanity faced its greatest challenge yet: diplomacy on a cosmic scale. The aliens, a coalition of species from across the Milky Way, were fascinated by humanity. They had been observing Earth for centuries, debates raging among their kind about whether to make contact with the volatile species from the third planet of an unremarkable yellow star. Ambassador Zixlana, a being of shimmering light and intricate patterns, addressed the United Nations General Assembly. Their melodious voice, translated through advanced technology, echoed through the hall. "Esteemed representatives of Earth, we welcome you to the galactic community. Your species has shown remarkable progress in a short time. However, we must address our concerns about your unique nature." The ambassador's light dimmed slightly, a sign of discomfort in their species. "You see, your planet is classified as a death world, an environment so hostile that its remarkable life evolved at all. This has made you formidable in ways that concern some members of our confederation." The assembly hall erupted in murmurs. Humans? Dangerous. The species that spent most of its time arguing about celebrities and cat videos. But as Zixlana continued, outlining humanity's history of warfare, their rapid technological advancement, and their ability to survive in extreme conditions, a sense of unease settled over the room. The following months were a crash course in interstellar politics. Human diplomats found themselves navigating a minefield of alien customs and taboos. A handshake, meant as a friendly gesture, nearly caused an interplanetary incident with a species that considered physical contact akin to a declaration of war. A compliment about an alien's vibrant color led to accusations of sexual harassment from a race that used chromatophores for complex communication. Despite these challenges, humanity's insatiable curiosity and adaptability began to shine through. Scientists eagerly collaborated with alien researchers, piecing together the mysteries of the universe. Artists created breathtaking works inspired by extraterrestrial aesthetics. Even in the face of being labeled as potential galactic menaces, humans approached their new reality with a mix of caution and enthusiasm that baffled their alien counterparts. It was during one of these collaborative sessions that Dr. Amelia Zhao, a brilliant but often overlooked quantum physicist, had an epiphany. She had been working closely with Grix, a gaseous entity from a low-gravity world, on theoretical models of space-time manipulation. "Grix," Amelia said, her eyes shining with excitement, "what if we combined your species' understanding of gravitational fields with our research on quantum entanglement? We could potentially create a device capable of instantaneous communication across vast distances." Grix's gaseous form swirled in what Amelia had learned to recognize as surprise. "Fascinating, Dr. Zhao. But the energy requirements for such a device would be astronomical. The Confederation has deemed such research too dangerous to pursue." Amelia's grin only widened. "That's where human ingenuity comes in. We've been solving impossible problems since we figured out how to make fire. Give us a challenge, and we'll find a way." Grix's swirling intensified, a mix of concern and intrigue. "Your species' determination is admirable, Dr. Zhao, But it is also what worries many in the Confederation. Such a device, in the wrong hands, could have catastrophic consequences. Or, Amelia countered, it could revolutionize galactic communication, bring species closer together, and help us understand the universe in ways we've never imagined. Isn't that worth the risk? As Grix contemplated Amelia's words, neither of them realized that this conversation would set in motion a chain of events that would prove, once and for all, why Deathworlders were considered the most dangerous species in the galaxy. Amelia's proposal quickly gained traction among both human and alien scientists. The potential benefits were too great to ignore, despite the risks involved. However, as news of the project spread, it reignited debates about humanity's place in the galactic community. Conservative factions within the Confederation argued that giving humans access to such advanced technology was akin to handing a plasma rifle to a toddler. Earth's representatives countered that their Deathworld ingenuity was exactly what was needed to tackle the universe's greatest challenges. As tensions rose, Ambassador Zix Lena found themselves in an increasingly difficult position. They had come to admire humanity's resilience and creativity, but they also understood their colleagues' fears. In a private meeting with UN Secretary-General Adebayo, Zix Lena expressed their concerns. Your Dr. Zhao's project is causing quite a stir, Secretary-General. Some members of the Confederation are calling for Earth to be quarantined. Adebayo leaned back in his chair, his face a mask of diplomatic calm. And what do you think, Ambassador? In the short time you've known us, have you found humanity to be the threat some of your colleagues fear? Zix Lena's light flickered thoughtfully. I believe that your species has great potential for both creation and destruction. But isn't that true of all sentient life? As the debate raged on in the political arena, Dr. Zhao and her team, both human and alien, worked tirelessly on their revolutionary device. Little did they know that their project would soon become the catalyst for an event that would change the course of galactic history. The stage was set. Humanity, with its Deathworld determination, stood at the threshold of a new era. The galaxy watched, equal parts fascinated and fearful, wondering what these tenacious primates would do next. The incident that would prove Deathworlders as the most dangerous species alive was about to unfold, and nothing in the universe would ever be the same. The Cosmic Challenge. The Galactic Confederation's Grand Assembly Hall buzzed with an energy that hadn't been felt in millennia. Representatives from 1,000 worlds gathered to witness what many considered either the dawn of a new era or the prelude to unprecedented disaster. At the center of it all stood Dr. Amelia Zhao, her heart racing as she prepared to present her controversial project to the assembled alien dignitaries. Distinguished members of the Confederation, Amelia began, her voice steady despite her nerves. I stand before you today to propose a collaboration that could reshape our understanding of the universe. As she outlined her plan for an instantaneous communication device that combined human quantum entanglement theories with alien gravitational manipulation techniques, the reactions among the audience ranged from excitement to outright horror. This is madness, bellowed Crixtor, the hulking representative of the silicon-based Petroxians. Giving the humans access to such technology is like handing a plasma cannon to a Xerxian cave slug. Amelia fought the urge to roll her eyes. She prepared for this. With all due respect, Ambassador Crixtor, humanity has a long history of turning madness into progress. The Wright brothers were called mad for thinking humans could fly. Now we explore the stars alongside you. A ripple of murmurs spread through the assembly. Zix Lena, who had become something of an advocate for humanity, spoke up. Perhaps it is time we look beyond our fears and embrace the potential of collaboration. After all, is not the purpose of the Confederation to foster growth and understanding among all sentient species? After hours of heated debate, a compromise was reached. The project would proceed, but under strict Confederation oversight. A joint team of the brightest minds from across the galaxy would work alongside Dr. Zhao on a neutral space station orbiting a remote star system. As Amelia packed for her journey to the research station, she couldn't help but feel a mix of excitement and trepidation. This was her chance to prove that humanity's deathworld nature was an asset, not a liability. The research station, dubbed Harmony, was a marvel of engineering. A massive structure of gleaming alloys and pulsating energy fields, it housed laboratories equipped with technology beyond human imagination. As Amelia stepped off the transport ship, she was greeted by her diverse team of alien scientists. There was Grix, the gaseous entity she had worked with before, floating serenely in a containment field. Zixra, an arachnid-like being with multiple appendages perfect for delicate manipulations, chittered a greeting. Elo, a creature of pure energy, pulsed with excitement. And then there was Crixtor, the Patroxian who had opposed the project, now assigned as the Confederation's watchdog. "Welcome to Harmony, Dr. Zhao," Crixtor rumbled, his crystalline form glinting under the station's lights. "I hope, for all our sakes, that your species' reputation for ingenuity is not exaggerated." Amelia smiled, undaunted. "I look forward to exceeding your expectations, Ambassador." The work began in earnest. Days blurred into weeks as the team pushed the boundaries of known physics. They faced countless setbacks, equipment failures, theoretical dead ends, and the occasional accidental creation of micro-singularities that threatened to tear the station apart. Through it all, Amelia's determination never wavered. When a power surge fried their main computation array, she rigged up a replacement using spare parts and what her alien colleagues swore was illogical human intuition. When their initial attempts at quantum gravitational coupling resulted in explosive failures, she suggested an approach so unorthodox that Grix's gaseous form nearly dissipated in shock. "Dr. Zhao," Zixra clicked one day, all 8 eyes focused on Amelia. "How do you maintain such optimism in the face of repeated failure?" "By our calculations, the odds of success are infinitesimally small." Amelia grinned, dark circles under her eyes testament to her relentless work ethic. "On Earth, we have a saying, it's only impossible until it's done. Besides, my entire species evolved on a planet trying to kill us at every turn. This," she gestured at the complex equations floating in holographic displays around them, "this is just another Tuesday for a Deathworlder." As the weeks turned to months, something unexpected began to happen. The alien scientists, initially wary of their human colleague, started to see Amelia in a new light. Her resilience in the face of adversity, her ability to think outside conventional parameters, and her unwavering enthusiasm began to inspire them. Even Crixtor, who had started the project as a stern overseer, found himself drawn into Amelia's world of boundless possibility. "I must admit, Dr. Zhao," he said one day, his crystalline form resonating with what might have been admiration, "your species' adaptability is impressive." But just as it seemed they were on the brink of a breakthrough, disaster struck. The team had been running a critical test of their prototype device. The air in the lab crackled with energy as the machine hummed to life. Amelia held her breath, watching as the indicators climbed higher and higher. "We're approaching the theoretical threshold," Grix announced, his gaseous form swirling with excitement. Suddenly, alarms blared. The station shuddered violently. Containment field destabilizing. Zixra chittered in panic, her appendages flying over the control panels. "Shut it down," Crixtor boomed. But it was too late. A blinding flash of light engulfed the lab, and Amelia felt herself being pulled in 1,000 directions at once. When her vision cleared, she gasped in horror. Where the device had stood was now a swirling vortex of impossible colors. Arcs of energy lashed out, melting equipment and creating localized gravity distortions. And through the chaotic maelstrom, Amelia could swear she saw something. Shapes and geometries that shouldn't exist, glimpses of places that defied comprehension. By the cosmic core, Elo pulsed weakly. "What have we done?" As the vortex grew, threatening to engulf the entire station, Amelia realized with a mixture of terror and exhilaration that they had done more than create a communication device. They had torn a hole in the fabric of reality itself. The cosmic challenge had just become a fight for survival, not just for the team, but potentially for the entire galaxy. And in that moment, as chaos reigned around her, Amelia knew that all the skills she had honed on her death world would be put to the ultimate test. Little did she know, this crisis would be just the beginning of an adventure that would prove, once and for all, why Deathworlders were considered the most dangerous, and perhaps the most crucial species in the galaxy. Crisis and ingenuity. Alarms blared throughout the Harmony Station as the swirling vortex of impossible colors continued to grow, threatening to engulf everything in its path. The air crackled with energy, and the very fabric of space-time seemed to warp and twist around them. Evacuation protocols initiated. The station's AI announced, its usually calm voice tinged with urgency. All personnel report to escape pods immediately. Amelia Zhao stood transfixed, her mind racing as she stared into the chaotic maelstrom they had inadvertently created. This was beyond anything they had anticipated. A tear in reality itself. Dr. Zhao. Crickster's booming voice snapped her out of her trance. We must leave now. But Amelia's Deathworlder instincts were kicking in. Fight or flight. For her, there was only one choice. No, she said, her voice steady despite the pandemonium around her. If we leave, this thing could spread. We have to contain it. Zixra chittered in disbelief, all 8 eyes wide with panic. Contain it. It's a rupture in space-time. We don't even understand what it is. Then we'll have to figure it out, Amelia replied, already moving towards the control panel. Grix, what's the vortex's energy signature? The gaseous entity swirled in confusion for a moment before comprehending Amelia's intent. It's fluctuating wildly. I've never seen anything like it. Elo, Amelia called out to the energy being. Can you interface with the station's power grid? We need to create a containment field, but it'll have to be adaptive. As her alien colleagues hesitated, torn between self-preservation and scientific curiosity, Amelia's fingers flew over the controls. She was operating purely on instinct now, drawing on every scrap of knowledge and experience she had. Dr. Zhao. Crixtor rumbled, his crystalline form vibrating with a mix of fear and grudging admiration. What you're proposing is incredibly dangerous. The odds of success. Never tell me the odds. Amelia cut him off, a grim smile on her face. On Earth, we have stories about people facing impossible situations. We call them heroes. Today, we all get to be heroes. Her words, spoken with unwavering conviction, seemed to ignite something in her alien companions. One by one, they moved to their stations, ready to face the unknown. What followed was a symphony of scientific brilliance and seat-of-the-pants improvisation. Elo merged with the station's systems, becoming a living conduit for the massive energy flows needed to power their makeshift containment field. Zixra's multiple limbs became a blur as she recalibrated instruments on the fly. Grix's gaseous form expanded, using its unique properties to sense and predict the vortex's fluctuations. And at the center of it all was Amelia, calling out instructions, making split-second decisions, and pushing the boundaries of theoretical physics to their breaking point. We need more power to the eastern quadrant, she shouted over the din. Crixtor, can your crystalline structure amplify the containment field? The Petroxian, who had once doubted the wisdom of working with humans, didn't hesitate. He positioned himself between the power relays, his body acting as a living amplifier. Ready, Dr. Zhao. As they worked, the vortex pulsed and writhed, as if fighting against their efforts to contain it. Strange, ethereal shapes flickered at its edges, glimpses of other dimensions, other realities bleeding through. Zixra, are you seeing this? Amelia called out, her eyes wide with a mixture of terror and scientific awe. The arachnid-like being chittered in affirmative. Multiple spatial anomalies detected. It's as if. as if the vortex is a window to other universes. For a moment, Amelia allowed herself to be overwhelmed by the implications. They had stumbled upon something that could revolutionize their understanding of the cosmos, but there would be time for wonder later, if they survived. Hours blended together as they fought their desperate battle against chaos itself. The station groaned and shuddered, systems failing and being jury-rigged back to life. More than once, it seemed as if all was lost, the vortex threatening to overpower their containment efforts. But each time, Amelia would find another solution, another impossible idea that somehow worked. She drew on everything: her formal education, half-remembered sci-fi novels, even games she had played as a child. In her mind, every piece of human culture, every story of overcoming impossible odds, became a weapon in their arsenal. And slowly, incrementally, they began to win. The vortex's wild fluctuations began to stabilize. The spatial anomalies, while still present, no longer threatened to tear the station apart. As the immediate danger passed, Amelia allowed herself a moment to breathe. She looked around at her alien colleagues, seeing them in a new light. Grix, once so cautious, had pushed his gaseous form to its limits. Zixra's exoskeleton was singed in places, evidence of her fearless work amidst electrical fires. Elo pulsed weakly, drained from channeling enormous energies. And Crixtor, his crystalline form glowing with residual energy, stood tall and proud. We did it, Amelia breathed, scarcely believing it herself. No, Dr. Zhao, Crixtor rumbled, his tone softer than she had ever heard it. You did it. We merely followed your lead. As the reality of their achievement sank in, a new sense of camaraderie filled the room. They had faced the impossible together and emerged victorious. But more than that, they had witnessed firsthand the incredible potential of humanity's Deathworld ingenuity. Zixra chittered softly, all 8 eyes fixed on Amelia. In all my cycles, I've never seen anything like this. Your species, you truly are remarkable. Amelia smiled. Exhaustion etched on her face. We're survivors. It's what we do. But even as they savored their victory, new challenges loomed. The contained vortex still pulsed with otherworldly energy, a testament to the power they had unleashed. And beyond the walls of their lab, the galaxy waited, unaware of how close they had come to cosmic catastrophe. As Amelia looked into the swirling colors of the stabilized vortex, she knew their work was far from over. They had opened a door to new realms of scientific discovery, but they had also unleashed potential dangers beyond imagination. The incident that would truly prove Deathworlders as the galaxy's most lethal and most valuable species was only beginning. And Amelia Zhao, a human from a planet that had forged her kind in fire and adversity, stood ready to face whatever came next. Little did she know, the true test of humanity's place in the galaxy was yet to come, and it would require every ounce of the ingenuity and determination she and her team had just displayed. The Deathworld advantage. In the days following the containment of the space-time vortex, an uneasy calm settled over the Harmony Station. The joint human-alien research team worked tirelessly to understand and stabilize their accidental creation, all while keeping its existence a closely guarded secret from the rest of the Galactic Confederation. Amelia Zhao stood before the shimmering anomaly, dark circles under her eyes testament to sleepless nights spent poring over data. It's beautiful, she murmured, more to herself than to her alien colleagues. Terrifying, yes, but beautiful. Crixtor, his crystalline form glinting in the ethereal light of the vortex, rumbled in agreement. Indeed, Dr. Zhao, though I fear its beauty may blind us to its dangers. Before Amelia could respond, the station's alarms blared to life once more. But this time, it wasn't the vortex causing the disturbance. Unidentified vessels approaching. The AI's voice echoed through the lab. Hostile intent detected. Zixra skittered to a nearby console, her appendages flying over the controls. By the cosmic core, she chittered. It's a Vrekno war fleet. Amelia's blood ran cold. The Vreknaut were a notoriously aggressive species, shunned even by the Galactic Confederation for their brutality. If they had somehow learned of the vortex, how did they find us? Grix's gaseous form swirled in agitation. This station's location is classified. Questions later, Amelia snapped, her mind already racing through possibilities. Right now, we need to defend the station and protect the vortex. If the Vrekna get their hands on this technology. She didn't need to finish the thought. Everyone in the room understood the catastrophic implications. Crixtor moved towards the communications array. "I'll contact Confederation headquarters for backup," he announced. "No time," Amelia countered, surprising even herself with her decisiveness. "By the time help arrives, it'll be too late. We're on our own." Her alien colleagues exchanged worried glances. They were scientists, not soldiers. The station had minimal defenses, designed more to deflect space debris than repel a military assault. But Amelia's eyes gleamed with a determination that made even the battle-hardened Crixtor take notice. This, she realized, was where her Deathworld heritage truly came into play. "Elo," she called out to the energy being, "can you interface with the station's systems like you did during the Vortex crisis?" Elo pulsed an affirmative. "Yes, but I don't see how that will help against a war fleet." Amelia grinned, a plan already forming in her mind. "We're going to give them a light show they'll never forget. Grix, I need you to modulate the station's shield frequencies. Zixra, reroute all non-essential power to the deflector arrays." As her team scrambled to follow her instructions, Amelia turned to Crixtor. "I hope you're ready for some hands-on experience with human ingenuity, Ambassador." What followed was a masterclass in Deathworld tactics. Amelia's plan was audacious, borderline insane by Confederation standards, but it was their only hope. Using Elo's ability to manipulate energy fields, they created the illusion of a much larger, heavily armed station. Grix's precise shield modulations made it seem as if their defenses were far more formidable than they actually were. And Zixra's power rerouting allowed them to create dazzling bursts of energy that mimicked weapons fire. All the while, Amelia coordinated their efforts, drawing on a lifetime of science fiction stories, historical battle tactics, and the raw survival instinct honed by generations of Deathworld evolution. The Vrekna fleet, expecting an easy conquest, found themselves facing what appeared to be a fortress bristling with advanced weaponry. Their initial volleys were absorbed by the enhanced shields, the energy dispersed in spectacular, intimidating displays. "They're falling for it." Zixra chittered excitedly as the enemy ships began to break formation. But the Vrekna were not so easily deterred. A particularly large warship pushed forward, its weapons charging for a massive strike. Braced for impact, Amelia shouted, knowing their illusions couldn't withstand a direct hit of that magnitude. The blast rocked the station, overloading systems and sending cascades of sparks through the lab. As the smoke cleared, Amelia saw with horror that their containment field around the vortex was fluctuating wildly. No, she muttered, rushing to the controls. But it was too late. With a sound like reality itself tearing, the vortex expanded, tendrils of otherworldly energy lashing out. For a moment, time seemed to stand still. Amelia locked eyes with Crixtor, seeing in his crystalline depths the same realization she had come to. There was only one way out of this. "Elo," she called out, her voice steady despite the chaos around her. "On my mark, I want you to channel the vortex's energy through the station's deflector array." "Dr. Zhao," Grix swirled in alarm. The amount of power, it could tear the station apart. Or it could save us all. Amelia countered. She looked at each of her alien colleagues in turn, seeing the trust they had come to place in her. "Whatever happens, it's been an honor working with all of you." As the Vrekna fleet regrouped for another assault, Amelia took a deep breath. Every instinct honed by her Deathworld upbringing, every lesson learned through humanity's turbulent history, had led her to this moment. "Now, Elo." the energy being merged with the station systems, becoming a conduit for forces beyond mortal comprehension. The vortex's power surged through the deflectors, erupting outward in a blinding wave of multidimensional energy. The Vrekna ships, caught in the wave, simply vanished, not destroyed, but displaced, flung across space, time, and perhaps even realities. As the light faded and emergency systems kicked in, Amelia and her team stood in stunned silence. They had done the impossible. Again. Krixtor was the first to speak, his voice filled with a reverence Amelia had never heard before. Dr. Zhao. Amelia, I believe I owed you an apology. I had reservations about working with a Deathworlder, but now I see your species may well be the galaxy's greatest asset. Amelia managed a weak smile, the full weight of their actions beginning to sink in. We're survivors, Ambassador. It's what we do best. As they surveyed the damage and prepared to face the inevitable inquiries from the Galactic Confederation, Amelia knew that everything had changed. Humanity had proven itself not just dangerous, but invaluable. The Deathworld advantage, forged in the crucible of Earth's harsh environment, had saved them all. But as she gazed into the now stable vortex, Amelia couldn't shake the feeling that their greatest challenges and opportunities still lay ahead. The incident that truly cemented humanity's place in the galactic order was yet to come, and she had a feeling she would be right at the center of it. The galaxy would never be the same, and neither would humanity's role within it. A new galactic order. The Grand Assembly Hall of the Galactic Confederation buzzed with an energy unlike anything seen in millennia. Representatives from every corner of the galaxy had gathered, their attention focused on the central podium where a small, unassuming human stood. Dr. Amelia Zhao took a deep breath, her eyes scanning the sea of alien faces before her. Some looked on with admiration, others with trepidation, but all waited with bated breath to hear her speak. Esteemed members of the Confederation, she began, her voice steady and clear, I stand before you today, not just as a representative of Earth, but as a witness to events that have forever changed our understanding of the universe and our place within it. Over the next hour, Amelia recounted the incredible tale of the Harmony Station incident. She spoke of the accidental creation of the space-time vortex, the desperate battle to contain it, and the harrowing encounter with the Vrekna fleet. As she described how they had used the vortex's power to repel the attack, a mixture of awe and fear rippled through the assembly. What Dr. Zhao fails to mention, Krixtor's voice boomed as he stepped forward, his crystalline form glinting under the hall's lights, is that without her leadership, without her uniquely human approach to problem-solving, none of us would be here today. The Vrekna would have acquired technology capable of reshaping reality itself, and our galaxy would be facing unprecedented peril. Murmurs of agreement echoed through the hall. Zixlana, the ambassador who had initially advocated for Earth's inclusion in galactic affairs, rose to speak. When we first encountered humans, many of us saw only the potential dangers of a Deathworld species. We feared their adaptability, their resilience, their capacity for violence. The ambassador's light pulsed softly. But now we have seen the other side of that coin. The very traits that make humans formidable are also what make them invaluable allies. As the Assembly debated the implications of recent events, it became clear that a paradigm shift was occurring. The incident at Harmony Station had proven that humanity's Deathworld advantage was not just a source of concern, but a vital asset in facing the unknown challenges of the universe. Proposals were put forth to integrate humans more fully into Confederation affairs. Some suggested human advisors for crisis management, while others advocated for joint scientific endeavors to further explore the possibilities uncovered by the Vortex incident. But it was Grix, the usually reserved gaseous entity, who floated forward with the most audacious proposal yet. Esteemed colleagues, Grix began, his form swirling with excitement, I propose we establish a new division within the Confederation, the Cosmic Exploratory Force. This team, led by humans but comprising members from all our species, would be tasked with pushing the boundaries of our knowledge and capabilities. They would be our first line of defense against the unknown, and our vanguard in unraveling the mysteries of the universe. The assembly erupted in a cacophony of voices, some enthusiastically supporting the idea, others expressing concern. Amelia stood silent, her mind racing with the possibilities. As the debate raged on, a new voice cut through the noise. It was Elo, the energy being who had played a crucial role in the Harmony incident. Friends, colleagues, let us not forget the lessons of recent events. We have seen firsthand the power of collaboration, of combining our unique strengths. The human's Deathworld ingenuity, coupled with our diverse abilities and knowledge, allowed us to face challenges that would have overwhelmed any single species. Elo's words seemed to resonate with the assembly, bringing a hush over the hall. Perhaps, Elo continued, this is the true purpose of our confederation. Not just to maintain peace and facilitate trade, but to pool our collective strengths in the face of a vast and often dangerous universe. The humans have shown us that being dangerous isn't just about the capacity for violence. It's about the will to face the unknown, to adapt, to survive against all odds. As the energy being's words sank in, a sense of purpose seemed to fill the hall. The fear and suspicion that had once colored many species' view of humanity was being replaced by something new: respect, admiration, and a growing excitement about the possibilities that lay ahead. In the days that followed, the Galactic Confederation underwent a transformation. The Cosmic Exploratory Force was established, with Amelia Zhao appointed as its first director. Teams of human and alien scientists began work on replicating and understanding the vortex technology under strict safety protocols. But perhaps the most significant change was in the Confederation's approach to newly discovered species. Instead of fearing the potential dangers posed by creatures forged in harsh environments, they began to see the unique strengths such species could bring to the galactic community. As for Amelia, she found herself at the center of a new era of galactic cooperation and discovery. Standing on the bridge of the Confederation's new flagship, the CSS Horizon, she gazed out at the star-filled expanse before her. Her team, a vibrant mix of humans and aliens, worked seamlessly around her, each bringing their unique perspectives and abilities to bear on the challenges ahead. Director Zhao, Crickster's voice rumbled from beside her. Long-range sensors are detecting unusual energy signatures in the Andromeda galaxy. Your orders? Amelia smiled, feeling the familiar thrill of the unknown coursing through her veins. This was what humanity had been preparing for throughout its tumultuous history on Earth. Every hardship, every triumph had led to this moment. Well, Ambassador, she said, her eyes gleaming with excitement, let's go see what's out there. Helm, set a course for Andromeda. It's time to show the universe what Deathworlders can really do. As the CSS Horizon engaged its engines, preparing to embark on a journey beyond anything humanity had ever attempted, Amelia knew that they were writing a new chapter in galactic history. The incident that had proven Deathworlders as the most dangerous species alive had also revealed them as the galaxy's greatest hope. The age of human exploration had begun, and the universe would never be the same.